Well. Happy hour to you, my friends, from wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to another SIME experience where we share stories that inform, motivate, as well as empower. Today, we have another fascinating story that is bound to give you energy as well as inspiration. And this one has Jamaica written all over it. We're diving into the incredible world of master swimming. And who better to showcase this than the Jamaican team that recently made waves at the Panam Masters tournament held in Trinidad? This inspiring group of athletes not only competed, but brought home a whopping 26 medals, securing an impressive 12th place out of 90 swim clubs. Talk about making a splash. But it's not just about medals or the competition. It's about the amazing benefits of staying active and competing at an older age. Studies have shown that regular physical activity can maintain muscle mass, improve mental health, and enhance overall quality of life, especially as we age. We are very fortunate to have with us two members of the victorious Jamaica swim team that participated in Trinidad recently. Help me welcome Juli-Anne Lee as well as welcome, ladies. How are you?
Thank
Hi,
you.
thank you
Great
for
to be
having
here.
us.
Thanks for inviting
Good
us.
to be here.
Wonderful. Listen, it's so nice to have you on here tonight. I'm gonna start out by playing this amazing video that we got.
What is wrong with
Listen, share with me and share with us what that moment meant to you.
I get goosebumps every time I see that.
Yeah.
It was it was a feeling that I've never had before because it was my first time representing Jamaica on this major scale in swimming.
Mhm.
I can only imagine how people feel competing like at the Olympics representing their countries.
Right.
It's a great feeling, one that Christina, jump in please anytime.
So I have always wanted to represent Jamaica. I've been swimming
Yeah.
since I was about 7 competitively. And for one reason or another, it just didn't happen. And I thought after I hit a certain age, it was done.
Hmm.
But then I came back home. I lived in the States for a little bit and I came back home in 2015. And I think it was 2017 I started swimming again because I was like, well, I see other people. There were two other older ladies, like much older ladies swimming. And I thought, if they can do it, I can jump back in and I can do it. And then COVID hit, but I still tried to stay in the water as best as I could. And then I found out about Panam. And I thought, whoa, it could be my first time, well, representing Jamaica. And walking out there and these guys, said, hey, you be the flag bearer. And I thought, me? Whoa. And so, yes, it was surreal. It just was, knowing that we are holding Jamaica up high, being here because it's the first time in 20, I think it was 21 years
Hmm.
that we've been, and it was the first time females had been to
Oh,
represent
wow.
Jamaica at this level in
and it's
master.
and it's the biggest team
And it's
with
the
eight
biggest
of
team.
us.
Yeah.
There was
The
eight
eight of
of
us
us.
that went,
Hey,
yeah. The team before that, I think largest was three. Three.
well, listen, listen, heartiest congratulations to you all. My first question then to you is, have all of you guys gone ahead and increase your your security around your home with so many medals that you were able to take home? And have you also increased your insurance? Because with all of those metals that you're taking back, you probably need more security, right?
No,
I
no,
can
it
tell
was
you, I can tell you, we needed security when we were there because everybody wanted to swipe our swim caps
and
because
our
our swim caps
shirts.
were so distinctive.
Wow.
We got two colors, one in yellow and one in black.
Yes.
And per the rules of the meet, um, our flag was there, and if we wanted to, could get like our first initial and last name on the cap.
Hmm.
So we're telling people that, they want our caps, and we say, yeah, but we still have to swim. They wanted to swipe our caps. So, like, if you swipe our caps, we can't swim. So,
Oh
what
boy.
I realized from that is everywhere Jamaicans go to represent, they are well received,
Well
Yes.
they
received.
are
I
well
mean,
loved.
we could barely walk into the facility without people wanting to take pictures with us.
Oh,
Exactly.
I
That
mean,
first day,
we,
I felt like a superstar
we
because even
yeah,
people, even the teams that did not speak English, they're
yes.
Spanish, they saw us and they communicated that they want to take pictures with us because it's Jamaica. It's Usain Bolt, Shelley and Fraser Price.
Oh my
It's
God.
Jamaica. And they wanted to swipe our shirts, which we had to fight hard to keep.
That is
All of us lost,
amazing.
all of us had lost our swim caps,
or
meaning
shirts.
traded it because they wanted it.
Yes,
So
Listen, it's amazing. Jamaica's brand worldwide is just such a powerful and potent
it
yes,
is.
asset.
It is.
yes,
And you hear like what you guys are saying now. You hear a lot of people talk about when they travel. It's the same kind of feeling that they get from persons when they go abroad. Now, listen, I know that this was an absolutely team effort,
yes,
and that's a wonderful picture of the entire team
yeah.
that participated. We have both of you here, but for the audience purpose, can you just tell us? I'm gonna share the pictures, and you tell us who are the other members of the team, since we don't have them here with me. So this is
Ulrich. I can't promise I can say his last name, but
right, right.
Ulrich is from Germany.
It's Ulrich Schwartz Shapira.
Okay,
There you go.
and
I
he's
told
from,
you.
he lives in Jamaica.
He does, yes. He is
He
on a
does.
contract. He used to swim when he was younger. I think he
Hmm.
made it all the way to college level almost.
Hmm.
And he joined us. He heard about us swimming in Jamaica. There's a master's group that is growing weekly. I
Hmm.
feel it's growing weekly. They train 5:30 to
Yes.
7, 6:30, between 6:30 and 7 on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and then 6:30 on Saturdays. And
Hmm.
occasionally they throw in a 1:30 on a Sunday.
Okay.
So he is part of that group that swims with
Okay.
tornadoes.
And then this is
Addie Chin Ogilvy.
yes.
He's actually based in Florida with Julie, and
Hmm.
she's the one who brought Julie on, right, Julie?
Yes, she worked on me, and I caved, and it's the one of the few times that I enjoyed caving in to something. Yes,
And Addie, I mean, I know her
Addie
as well.
yes,
She's
Addie,
involved in so many different things.
yes,
yes.
because she
She's
just
She
involved.
came back
has.
too from Australia. She
Yes.
did the aquathlon in Australia, so
Hmm.
that's a big deal. And last year she went to Spain as the first female to compete in the world aquathlon competition. I think it was
Oh
triathlon, but
man,
she did
For
aquathlon
Jamaica,
for
yes.
Jamaica. For Jamaica,
Yes.
first female for
boy,
Jamaica.
she is an amazing person. I'll tell you this that so I went to Cornell College, and our alumni association here.
Mhm.
I've never we have never had an event and Addie is not
Not
present.
there. Yes.
I
Same
mean,
thing there. Same thing there. She was at
Addie,
events. She was cheering on everybody. So that's the other thing is that we were just one of the smaller teams. I don't think we were like the smallest, but we
yes.
made the most noise. We were cheering for other people from other countries. I mean,
yes.
cheering for our own. I think we almost got kicked out. They might change the rules about how loud we cheered from over. We had a cowbell. We had vuvuzelas.
Vuvuzelas,
We had voices because our voices are loud. I
whistles.
mean, they Addie just brought the vibes. Addie just
Wha-
brought the vibes.
What about the Dutch pot covers? Do we have any of those?
We didn't
No, we
travel
didn't
with
travel
those.
with
Those
any
were a
of
little
those.
heavier to travel with, so we didn't make those.
Next time.
Next time.
And then who's this?
This is Bridget French Walter.
Mm-hmm.
She is a dermatologist, and her children swam with tornadoes when they were young, and she said, I may as well swim at the time, and then came back again. She only started back last year, and
Okay.
she has progressed significantly since starting back.
Okay. And then we have.
This is Raquel Gibson. On a
Mhm.
no, I can't. No, let me just leave it at Gibson because that's what I
On
know.
your. Yes.
You're so good at the names because some of them I really just can't manage. She is a gynecologist,
Mhm.
OBGYN. Same thing. Well, no, she swam when she was younger.
Yes,
Swam for Immaculate.
yes,
Yes.
My alma mater as well.
she swam with me actually. We knew each other from speedos
Right.
because we were on speedos, and
Mhm.
then I swam up to college level,
Yes.
collegiate swimming in the States,
Mhm.
and like most other stories that you're gonna hear here, we took off time and did our lives. We're back as masters,
Right. Right.
some
Right.
with children, some without, but
Yes.
heavy into jobs. And there's a saying among swimmers: once a swimmer, always a swimmer. So we're
I'm pretty
never
sure.
far from water. And when Addie told me about this, because Addie swims at a team called Swim Fort Lauderdale
Mhm.
here in Florida.
Yes.
And when we went to Trinidad, a lot of those Trinidadian swimmers representing Trinidad also swim for Swim Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
So Addie was there, and that's how we got into cheering for all other teams,
Other teams.
Trinidad, other countries. And so we just joined, and we know the health benefits because we did it when we were younger.
Right.
And it's just something, we never stay far away from water. And the thing with master swimmers is we still want to compete. We still want to do something productive
Yes.
for ourselves. And representing Jamaica is one of the greatest feelings you can have. So if you
I
can
can.
do
I
that,
can
while doing something that you love to
love.
do, it's
I can only imagine. And who is this?
This is Lisa Leorini Griffiths. She also is
Mhm.
a doctor. So this goes to show you have this many doctors swimming, there must be health benefits to it, right?
thank you.
I'm pretty
Yes,
sure.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. I mean,
I'm
same
pretty
thing. She
sure.
swam when she was younger. She swam with Marlins.
Yes.
She stopped, I think, after high school. She swam for Immaculate as well. Stopped after high school.
Mhm.
Her children would swim, and so she would, instead of sitting on the stands, actually would swim with them. But
Yes.
then took time off again when they were done, and then came back. She
Mhm.
actually is the one that brought a lot of the noise as well, because she brought the cowbell for us. She designed our shirts. So the shirt she has
Oh.
on there, she did that. And some of our other paraphernalia that we were trying to trade instead of the caps,
Yes.
she brought that. But they didn't want that. They wanted those caps.
Oh boy. And then finally we have.
Well, not finally, because you leave almost the best
the
for
best
last,
for
right?
last.
Because he's our former Olympian, right?
Yes.
So he he's Allan Roy Marsh, a former
Yes.
Olympian. Let me not age him too much, so I won't say.
Mm.
But he is now he has been swimming. He was one of he was one of the members of the team back in 2003 that
Mhm.
represented Jamaica. Also, it wasn't called Panam at the time; it was called Latikar.
Right.
Yes.
But he's currently, among other things, the chairman of the YMCA.
Mhm.
Chairman of the YMCA. So he is very active in swimming. His children
Yes.
swam also. They did follow him, and he joined us as well. It was very good.
I'm pretty sure. Listen, Christine and Julie, I'm looking at this picture and I'm tempted to believe that you guys have been training together for a long time, but I know that that is not the case.
No, no.
Enlighten us on how you were able to train and put together a team to enter this championship.
So we didn't meet Julie till we got there in Trinidad. We had virtual meetings with her,
Yes.
or a
Yes.
virtual meeting with her. So we were in our WhatsApp group trying to organize everything. So by the
Right.
time we got there, we felt like we knew her,
Yes.
but we didn't actually face to face meet her till the
Exactly.
opening ceremony. The day of the opening ceremony.
Mhm.
Other than that, I train with Raquel, Lisa. Well, I shouldn't say train with. I swim with them because we're in tornadoes. Raquel, Lisa, Ulrich, Bridget. And then Alan trains, sometimes he and I train at the same time, not together, but at the same time at the stadium. And then funnily enough, Adi and I are cousins. We're distant cousins, but we are cousins.
Right.
So I knew when we were going to do this, I knew to get in touch with her. I said, Adi, we're doing this. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yep.
So yeah, no, we all trained. I mean, they added in an extra session for us, those going to Panam. So we got to train an extra day on a Wednesday evening. So that's how the coincidence came for those of us in Jamaica.
Okay.
But then yeah, so hopefully we can keep that up and add more.
Listen, that is an amazing thing. So that leads me then to, because with this group and you look at everybody and everybody's smiling and happy and so forth. Talk to me about the dynamics of the team. Who is the planner on the team?
That's me.
That would be
That's why they made me flag bearer, I think, because I really wanted to do this for a long time, as I said.
Yes.
So I spoke to the I knew it as Amateur Swimming Association, so they've changed it
Yes,
to
all
the
this
Aquatic Sports Association of Jamaica,
Hmm.
and I convinced them that we can do this. We can go. We don't need your funding right now because we knew that they were funding others. So we didn't want to pull from that. They did try and help us a little. So we got a little bit, we got stuff from JOA. Some of the
Right,
shirts we wore as well, we got from JOA. Julie
Mhm.
got some stuff sponsored for us as well. So let her talk about that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I was the one who like made the letter go out to everybody, got
Okay.
everybody together, formed the WhatsApp group, say I'm the organizer.
All right, so Kristina is the planner.
I'm
Who
the planner.
is the most laid back person in the group?
Adi.
That
No,
would be Adi.
wait. Would we say Adi or Ulrich?
I would say actually go between Ulrich and Alan.
And
Because
Alan. Yeah.
yes,
Well, yeah, Alan
Yeah.
for sure because Alan is not rushing at all.
All right. And in every group, you have to have a joker. And who is that
Oh.
person?
Adi.
That would be Adi.
that is
Easily.
Ali's a joker, the partier,
The vibes
the
master.
vibes,
Yeah.
the encourager. Because as I said, if it wasn't for her and for her tugging at me for it was a couple months, well,
Yeah.
I would not have been on this team. As I
Yeah.
said, I hate being coerced or feel like I'm being pulled too
Yeah.
hard to do something, but
Yeah.
I don't regret this time.
Oh boy, that's so amazing. For 8 people to amass 26 medals. I mean, I know it's swimming, a lot of things happen, but that's no ordinary feat.
No.
It's absolutely not. Talk to me about the swimming profile of the person. Well, you first, and then for the other persons who are on there. I know some of you mentioned about speeders, the Y and so forth. Talk to me about your swim profile from you were little coming up, and then now you're at Masters.
Go ahead, Julie.
Okay, well, I started swimming competitively at around 10. I learned to swim from I was about 4, but I never got the opportunity to start swimming until my first year of high school. And then fish to water, loved it, competed it for high school for anybody competing, because you have other things to do. We're not
Yes.
professional swimmers.
Yes.
We have to find the time to really get the training in.
Mhm.
And as far as high school goes, we train in the evenings, but starting from maybe 2 weeks before a meet, we'll have morning trainings, whether it's at school, whether it's at our clubs. So swimming has always been a little bit time intensive, but as a swimmer, you love it. So I did it for high school, did it for college, did it for club. And even though stopped competing after I graduated from college,
Mhm.
I always found myself going back into the pool.
Okay.
So and swimming, maybe not competitively, but there will be months at a time when yes, I'm in the pool every day, and
Right.
then months, especially I used to live in New York. So after swimming for college, it was hard to get into the pool when it's 10 degrees, 20 degrees, 30 degrees.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely can relate to that.
I'd find myself back in starting from spring, and then that's basically how it is. But I've always wanted to do masters. And when Addie first told me about it, I was like, I haven't swam in years, so how am I gonna train and compete? And she first told me about it in the last November, and I said okay, and then was hemming and hawing a little bit, and then finally the final day to sign up was May 31st this year.
Mm-hmm.
And the week before I said, okay, I'm gonna do it. And then signed up and was in the pool like 4 or 5 times a week since then. Now
Right.
I wasn't associated with a club at that time. So
Mm-hmm.
I was training on my own. I got uh, routines and I got programs from online and things like that. So, but
Right.
I know that coming back, I said I have to join a club where I have a coach that will coach me through this because there are things that I need to learn that if you don't know, you can't teach yourself.
Okay.
And also,
Which, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was also going to say camaraderie with other swimmers. You swim with other people, so you get that even though you're not in a competition every day you go to training, you get
Mm-hmm.
that push from the other swimmers that are there, also the push from the coach,
Mm-hmm.
and you're there every day or every other day, and you get what you need to get from the people who know how to help you.
Sure, sure.
So
Which high school you went to?
I went to Holy Child.
And then you left and went to
I
which
went
college?
to Brooklyn College, yes, in
You went to
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn College.
Mhm.
Okay. And then for you, Christina?
So I learned to swim at 5 and started competitive swimming at 7. And I'm actually a founding member of Tornado Swim Club. So
Mm.
yes, I've been around for quite a while. I think we're at 35 years because it took us a little while to get registered.
Yes.
And I think so. I think it's our 35th birthday this year. And I'm the first of 4 girls. And actually,
Mm-hmm.
my little sister, the one after me, went to 2 Olympics for Jamaica.
Wow.
So it kind of, yeah, it trickled down.
Yes,
In the
yes, yes.
family.
And then the sister after that, she represented Jamaica to, I think, as high as Commonwealth Games. And the baby, she hates when I call her that, so that's why I do it.
Right.
She represented Jamaica in aquatics, sorry, in water polo.
Go on,
In
go on.
water polo. So we've all done something
From
now, me, because I didn't do it
yes,
before.
yes.
But and then my daughter now swims for tornadoes as well and some for Jamaica last year. So it's just so I guess
It's
something we
in the
do.
family. In the blood, in the family.
It
Let me
could be.
ask you this then, because there are some sports that when you look at it, what is required, there's a socio-economic factor that plays into it, right? And so if kids are not in that socio-economic group, they may be out. Swimming may be considered one of those because Jamaica doesn't have a lot of swimming pools around where
But
kids can
I
go
will
to
say
learn.
we do have a program here called Swim Jamaica
Mhm.
that does allow for people who don't have the means, as
Yes.
most do, to be a part of it.
Okay.
Right. So it's funded. I'm
Hmm.
not sure how active it is right now, but I do know it was around. So COVID may have changed it a little bit,
Hmm.
but it was funded, and we had kids coming from all over. So that's how
That
we
is
now have
nice.
kids from primary schools also swimming in competitions,
Yes.
in school competitions, and representing Jamaica.
Okay.
Because we have a little girl from Excelsior Primary who just came back from the Goodwill Games in St. Lucia,
Hmm.
and she represented Jamaica in a 9-10 group, and she did last year as well. So this was her second year.
That is that is
So
that is
right.
amazing.
So
That is
we have
amazing.
yeah, we're trying to find the talent. We know that it's hard because it's not like track and field where you can run anywhere, or
Right.
football. You just find a
Right.
field and a ball.
Right.
You have to have a pool, and
Yes.
we only have three 50-meter pools. Two I think are operational, and then 25-meter pools are usually at a school.
Yes.
So, it's kind of harder to get access to those. But we are trying here in Jamaica to make sure it's accessible to more people. Not everybody, that's really hard, but more
Right.
people.
So I did an interview, a very extensive interview with Ali Atkinson. I published around a year and a half, 2 years ago, just after she retired. Right.
Yes.
One of her goal is to be able to have, because she came from the country, and she didn't have access or much access as she wanted, right?
Mhm.
And one of her goal, and which is part of the reason why she's probably on an IFNA at this point, is she wanted to ensure that countries like Jamaica, and other Caribbean countries, and countries that are considered third world, they will have access to
Yes.
swimming as a skill, because according to her, she said to me that swimming is an essential
Yes.
part to life. It is essential to life, right? How do you guys feel about that?
I agree. I agree. I mean, it's really sad. I think the statistics are that only 2% of the population can swim.
Yeah.
And the drowning rate is not high or alarming, but it is
Mhm.
unnecessary. It
Yes.
really is unnecessary. So I do feel, I mean, she is definitely a proponent for swimming. She has recently spoken to say that, the government needs to invest more. We need to find more corporate sponsors.
Hmm.
So I do know that the ASAJ is trying to do that. They put together
Okay.
a strategic plan, and
Hmm.
they it's $250 million, 150 million Jamaican dollars that they
Hmm.
would need to assist with facilities, coaches, and just having more meets. Because the more meets you have, is the better we can be, whether
Right.
it be masters meets or age group meets. Because the more
Yes.
you compete, is the more your coach can see how you can improve.
Right. 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 Right.
You know.
And
Um.
and from
And
and I agree with that, because swimming, I see swimming being important in for two reasons.
yes.
One, as Christina alluded to, with the learning to swim, is
Hmm.
very important. We live in an island. We are a small speck that's surrounded by water.
Yes.
And if there's not a beach, there's a lake. If there's not a lake, there's a pool.
A
Right.
river.
And
A
so
river.
there's water all around. And without learning to swim, not only are you not able to enjoy something that's natural, that's there, like
Hmm.
beaches, but you're also not able to prevent drowning situations.
True. 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 True.
So swimming is good from a health standpoint.
Yes.
Swimming also, and I'd actually go and so far as to say number three,
Yes.
being a swimmer, being a part of a swim team helps you be able to navigate life. As far as you're on a team, you're dealing with different personalities, you're dealing with different people, you're dealing with realizing that you have to train in order to do the job.
Yes.
The job is not just going to the meet.
Yes.
The
Yes.
job is you have to put in that time in
Hmm.
order to get good, so that you can do good when you do go to the meet.
Right.
So to me, swimming is great for multiple reasons.
Right.
And
I'm
that's why
gonna,
I think more investment should be made.
I see Alan is here. I'm gonna bring him in a little bit. But I also wanted to also touch on the point that swimming and what it does for your body as well, because you use so many muscles in your body for swimming that it works almost your entire body is worked when you swim.
And time, and your likelihood of injuries is much lower than any other activity that you do,
Yes.
right? Unless your technique is wrong, you
Hmm.
have no worries about impact, because it's very low impact, almost no impact.
Right.
So you're not worried about your knees, your shins, your hips,
Hmm.
anything like that. The risk, I mean, you don't fall. There's no risk of falling when
Right.
you're doing anything. And it's cardiovascular, so
Yes.
your lungs, your heart, it's pulmonary, everything. So it
Everything is
really
good.
does.
It also helps with keeping your muscles and maintaining and building muscle, because it's a weight bearing exercise,
Right.
because you're constantly pulling and kicking against water,
Hmm.
right? And as a matter of fact, swimming is the sport that when other athletes get injured,
They
they
use.
they have to turn to
For
for
rehab,
water therapy,
Right.
because whatever they cannot do on land,
they can
well,
still.
most of what they can't do on land, if they're out of training and they're on an injured list, they can go in the pool and do that in the pool, and that will help them build up their muscles so that they can go back to their respective
That
sports.
is true. Well, let me go ahead and bring in Mr. Marsh. Welcome to the party, sir.
Hey, Alan.
Hi,
All
Alan.
right, sorry to be late. Sorry to be late. Hi.
That's quite
Yeah,
fine.
Thanks
man.
for
That's quite
joining us.
fine. We
Yeah, man.
understand that things happen.
Yeah.
It has been a wonderful conversation with these two ladies, and now you have
Right.
joined us. Um,
Yeah.
we have talked a bit about the meat itself.
Uh-huh.
We are now looking at the benefits of swimming
Okay.
to whether it is youngsters
Mhm.
or people who are older.
Right.
What is your view on it? I was relating
Well,
that I had a conversation with Alia some months ago, and she was saying that swimming is essential to life. But
yeah.
what is
Well,
your view?
I agree. It's a life skill. It's a life
Yes,
skill, and it's, in fact, if I can go even further, say it's the only Olympic sport that is a life skill that you save a life.
right.
Because when you learn swimming, whether and it's the only Olympic sport that you actually is a life skill. There's
Hmm.
no other Olympic sport that does that. In
Okay.
addition, there are about a dozen sports in the Olympics that require you to be able to swim.
Hmm.
We talk about, besides competitive swimming, you have water polo, synchronized swimming, or artistic swimming, diving, um, modern pentathlon, triathlon, rowing, surfing. Um, I'm just to name a few. With some of the sports that you have to be able to swim. So, for a country which is surrounded by water, with the land of wood and water, to me, it's a no-brainer, and it's unfortunate that many Jamaicans, including our various persons, they look at swimming still as a sport which only a few people should do.
Right.
And this is evidenced by the way we treat our beaches, where we don't allow access to many Jamaicans because we feel that they shouldn't have access to these beaches
Okay.
and rivers. And but just going a little further,
Hmm.
so people are indoctrinated that they should be able to do. It should only be for certain people, which is
Right.
unfortunate. The other thing quickly is that from a, from a standpoint like United States, Jamaica has an aging population.
Yes.
And I think earlier, Kristina and Juli-Anne mentioned that it's a low impact sport. So therefore, it's something that is tailor made for an aging population.
Right.
Aging population, swimming is probably the best aerobic, the cardiovascular
Hmm.
exercise that people can do with low impact, low
Hmm.
chance of injury. Sure, you can get injured. I mean, you can get shoulder injuries, you can get infection, you can pick up an ear infection. That does happen, but it's
Hmm.
compared to which other activity you can do that you work your cardiovascular system, that you're not going to have some possibility of injuries. And let's face it,
Hmm.
in Jamaica, peace industry in Jamaica, tourism. Why do
Tourism.
people come to Jamaica?
Yes.
Why do people come to Jamaica?
For the beaches.
The
More
Beaches.
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 majority is because of sun, sand, and the sea. That's what it
Hmm.
is. The majority of people come here for that. So you have to ask yourself the question: why would people travel um, from around the world to come to Jamaica for that? And we as Jamaicans are not enjoying what we have here.
Yes.
That,
Yes. Yes.
that's it's a, as a friend of mine from Trinidad told me years ago. This is basics, ABC, catch a crab, you know,
Right.
and it's something that we have to try and encourage more persons to do it. Get people learning to swim, and
Okay.
it can't be done by the way it's being done now, because most of the persons who learn to swim have to do it through certain instructors, and the rates are just not affordable to the majority of Jamaicans.
Let me ask you this, Alan, because
And
you have
we have
been through you have been through the entire gamut of the swimming journey, right? Up to Olympics, correct?
yes, well,
Okay. Um, what is it then? And we're having a conversation earlier about for persons to swim. I think they're cast in a particular socioeconomic
uh-huh,
group because of what is required to swim. I mean, you
right,
don't need a whole lot. You don't need tennis rackets, right? So that's
yeah,
expensive. Or cricket
mhm,
bats. You don't need all those things, but you need a pool.
yeah.
And very few people have pool, and very few places have pools in Jamaica. From where you sit, and based on your own experience, what is required to get more people, especially the ones who don't have that kind of access
Mhm.
to become part of the essential life swimming
Yeah.
areas?
Well, I think yeah, it would be ideal if we had swimming pools. However, we have very few pools that are accessible to the public. For instance, just to let you know, I mean, I'm part of YMCA, and YMCA is the only public swimming facility in Jamaica
Yes.
outside of the national stadium,
Yes.
which is a shame. Um, but it does cost quite a bit to maintain these facilities
Yes.
at a standard that is acceptable for persons to use it.
Yes.
But also you have, because of technology, there are a number of there are um, various what's the word, equipment that can be used now to have like pools in the sea.
Yes.
And most of all, there are a number of areas in Jamaica where you have well protected coves that could be used if managed properly
Okay.
as learn to swim locations. I think in places like Canada, up until recently, many of the swimming pools, because of the cost of maintaining, many people learn to swim in the lake, in
Yes.
various lakes, because in the summertime, because they could, and they set up these pools in the actual in the lake.
Yes.
So it's a
Well,
similar thing could be done in Jamaica, and the technology that we have now, where you have these modular pools.
yes.
I don't know if anybody has been to like a Dolphin Cove or the one, yeah, they have something like that can be done.
Mm-hmm.
I
Because I
think
was thinking about the same thing, right? Listen, I can swim. I didn't have a pool. I am pretty. There was a pool in Montego Bay that one of my friend owned, and I went there and swam a few times. But
So,
I learned to swim in the river and in the sea.
yeah,
And I'm wondering, with so much water areas in Jamaica, your solution a while ago, the one that you just mentioned about people learning to swim at the sea, it's the largest body of water that we have, and it's not going to cost anything to do it. So I'm really hoping that somebody at your status would be able to help push government or whichever body is necessary and needed to be able to get that done. That would be an amazing thing,
yeah,
because you get more people learning to swim and have that essential skill for their lives.
right.
let me can I just interject it here also?
Yes.
Not only the actual physical facilities, the physical pools that we need, whether it's a block structure or whether it's put in the sea or the lake, we also need to work on changing mindset, because there are
Yes.
a lot of people that they don't learn to swim because they don't like water, or they
Yes.
don't like the beach,
Hmm.
or
Or
I
they're
know,
gonna drown.
I know in the
Or they're gonna
United
drown.
I know in the United States, one big thing trying to get people to learn to swim is Black people don't swim.
Yes.
So uh, there are many different reasons other that, because I envision that you could have all of these facilities and a mindset where they're not being used because people don't, for one reason or other, think it's important to learn to swim.
Hmm.
They don't like the water, so they don't think it's important for them to swim. So in addition to getting physical facilities, we also need to work on changing mindset.
Sure, sure, sure. And that's
Well,
absolutely important.
the only thing with the mindset is that that's a very, I think you're going to have to start something first. I just add something quickly on that area. As you mentioned, Patrick, you mentioned that you're from Montego Bay.
Hmm.
One of the recent things that the government did, which is a fantastic initiative, was to refurbish the
Dumport Beach.
dump up beach. And
Oh, I
it's
went there. It's an
right, a
amazing place.
lovely facility, and that's one of the areas we're targeting to see if we can
Yes.
put in one of
Yes.
those pools, because it's well protected
Yes.
and there is enough access for persons across different socioeconomic
Yes.
demographics to come. And if we can get children, because the children will learn quicker than the adults, because they
Yes.
haven't developed that fear yet.
Here.
And we get them involved, and then get the adults. Maybe one of the things, I was in New York in May to June, and one of the things that really got me excited, it wasn't okay. They weren't really swimming; they were doing water aerobics,
Hmm.
and I was amazed. It was at the YMCA in Bed-Stuy in New York, and they were doing a fantastic program with water aerobics, and it was full of senior citizens. I mean,
Hmm.
rock, and get them comfortable. As Juli-Anne said, it's a mindset, and if they start off with doing that,
Yes.
then learning to swim, learn to tread water, learn to do other things, because they become comfortable in the water.
Yes.
That's true.
See it as a
That's
friend. But I agree, the mindset is there. I mean, I've heard people tell me, until there's a shark went up in halfway tree, then not going into water, and then people talk about shark in the sea and all kind of things,
Yeah.
and I say, well, the chances of getting struck by lightning is a lot greater than getting a shark attack.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
So it's a lot greater. I mean,
What
well,
I
in Jamaica, I should say.
what
Maybe
I
maybe
find
not in Florida, but in Jamaica.
what I find amazing, and I think all of us here will agree, is that of the swimmers, the children that are being taught to swim, most of the parents cannot swim,
Yes.
and
There are
this is
parents of
something that
children
needs
who
to
have
be worked
represented
on
Jamaica.
also.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well,
Yeah.
There are
That,
parents
yeah.
of children who have represented Jamaica, and the parents cannot swim.
Oh yeah. That's
yeah.
but then it's good then that they have. But I will tell you a joke that Christina's father told me some years ago. And I thought it was quite. I don't know if Christina heard the joke about how he learned to swim.
Yes. He almost drowned twice.
Right, because he was in Canada apparently. He told me because he was the
Yes. And the
first person.
boat flipped over.
Right, he was the first person from the YMCA to go on the exchange program to Canada back in the 60s. And the boat flipped over, and he held on for dear life. And he said, "I have to learn to swim when I come back home to Jamaica."
Yep.
And that's how he learned
And
to
that's
swim.
why all four of us had to learn to swim.
Right,
He swore
right.
that would never happen to any of
That
us.
would never happen to. So which was, thank God it wasn't. But it's something I guess at that stage he saw the need and the importance of it, because you don't know, you could be on a boat and they flip over.
I wouldn't have been here.
Listen, you can either save your own life or save somebody else's
Someone
life. Let
else's.
me
Yeah.
ask you this: are there any promotional initiatives in Jamaica though to sensitize people and change the mindset that Julie spoke about as far
Right.
as swimming is concerned?
Right. Well, okay, just to mention something that the Aquatic Association of Jamaica has started is an outreach program. It's still we're putting things together, how to get it going. But I think that is one of the first steps, is how do we get it out there to persons about learn to swim. Now, for instance, one of the things we're looking at also is, for instance, we have open water events, which are not held in Kingston. We have one in Montego Bay in September, which is a race in the sea. It's a 3K race, 3K 1 mile, and a 600-meter race.
Yes.
That's a doctor's cave.
Yes.
And that limits the amount of persons who can watch and so forth. But
Right.
that's one. But then there's another event in November, which is the Swim for the Sanctuary, which is the White River Sanctuary on the border of St. Mary
St. Anne.
and St. Anne. And I think that event, one of the things that we discussed was, could we use some of our local swimmers to do like a learn to swim class? Maybe just go there the day before. They're not going to teach them how to swim, but at least give them some tips and encourage them. Target like the fishermen, the
Right.
person, their children and so forth. Because in Jamaica, a number of fishermen, I don't want to say majority, but a number of the fishermen, a significant number, do not know how to swim. And these are fishermen.
You're not serious.
I'm very serious.
Yes.
They don't know how to swim, and they but and they go to sea at night in canoes.
Okay. Well, all right. Let's do this then. Let's get back to the masters thing. I was having, well, not having. I saw an interview with Addie, and let's hear what she has to say about the masters competition, right? And then you guys can tell me what your
Any
thoughts.
words of encouragement you have for other athletes here?
Yes, a lot of these athletes believe that you have to come here to win and you're competing. But in the Masters world, it's about finishing and participation. And we have participants of all age and walks of life. My friend on your team, Clyde, is 75.
Yeah.
He's in a wheelchair,
Yeah,
and he'll be climbing in the pool to compete. So it's more about fun and not being afraid to come out and do what your heart desires. So we hope to see more people coming out and participating and give the Masters swimming a boost.
Okay. For persons who want to become part of the masters program, if you wish, what is it that you would want to say to them to get more people involved? Because apart from the health benefits that we know, and as you get older, the muscles get weaker, the bones get a little weaker, all that kind of stuff, and swimming will help. But here's something that you're competing, but you're really not competing. You're having fun, as Adi just said a while ago. Is that the same sentiments that you guys share?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when we have our swim meets now, we right now the masters swim with the age group kids because we don't have masters meets right now.
Yes.
And it's just, I think it's amazing because the kids see us, and for them, because when I was swimming, you finished at 15, 17. Maybe if you're going to the Olympics, you might go to 21 or whatever, but that
Yes.
was it for swimming.
Hmm.
And so I feel that we are now showing them that swimming does not have an end. You
Yes.
can swim until there is no end at all. I mean, I thought that Panam was going to be, oh, I've made it. No, Panam now made me realize it's the beginning of my journey as a master's swimmer.
Mm.
And now I know, having seen some of these masters swim, that I will swim until I can't,
Yes.
right? I will swim until I can't swim because it was really good to see everybody swimming. And I think we just want to show the others that, especially, I mean, our age group, the older and the younger ones, that even when you're done, there is swimming for you. Right.
Yeah.
So I just feel people need to come down to the stadium. We have meets very regularly, I feel. We have at least one meet a month, except in the summer.
Yes.
So if they come down in September, October, well, September is a development. Anyway, sorry. But October, November, December, some months we have two, and then we have school meets as well. They can reach out because swimming with a team also is so much fun. I mean, when you're trying to get ready for relays and we're swimming against the other clubs, it's just fun. It really is just fun times. There's no cutthroat.
Hmm.
It's just, hey, we're gonna beat you. We're gonna beat you, but it's still just, we're gonna pull you out at the end of the at the end of the race if you need
Right.
help
Right.
getting out.
Right.
So I want to take it from a different side. As Christina rightfully said, so your swimming doesn't end when you leave high school. I know most Jamaicans who continue swimming competitively after high school is because they went abroad, whether it's Canada, United States, or England, to go to college, and that's how a lot of them continued. However, even after that, let's say you've done your collegiate swimming, you've done your Olympics, a lot of people still feel that, okay, you've done that, so by the age of 20, in our days it was 2022 that you stopped swimming, right? I want to let people know that now that I've gotten a taste of this, I realize that yes, it's fun. However, master swimming also goes towards helping people who still have that competitive edge in them. Yes,
Yes.
it's fun, but some people, not just because you're 50 or 60 mean you don't have that competitive edge in you. And you also want to do something. You may be empty nesters, you may have retired from your job, or you, whatever age, whether you early retirement or whatever, and you want to do something productive that's healthy, and doing masters swimming will do all of that. And the thing is that yes, we're masters, but we still need buy-in and help from whatever associations, governments, whatever, to help us to get to these meets. Because it's when we go to these meets that people will see that, okay, we can do something, we still can represent our country, we still can get in our exercise, we still can compete at a high international level.
Um, well, listen. Now that the competition is over, it's gone. What is next on the agenda for the Masters?
So there is the World Championship. So we did Panam, so that's the Pan American countries.
Hmm.
The next one is in Singapore next year, World Championships. So now that we've gotten a taste, everybody, a lot of people who did not come with us want to know, see how, as I told you, there's a thriving Masters league now. a lot of us are there, but only 8 of us went. But
Mm-hmm.
everybody, like all of them we're so jealous. We wish we had come with
Oh
you.
boy.
Yes, so we have given them like the inspiration and the catapult to let's try this now at but World Championships is in Singapore. That one is a bigger task. Go to a
Yes.
Caribbean country, you can manage. Singapore is gonna be a hard sell if we don't get some funding.
But how are you preparing though? I mean, it's in what 2 years time, or it's next year?
No, so Panam is every 2 years.
Okay.
Next year, actually, Singapore World Masters is next year in Singapore. So
All
that
right.
will
So,
be in August. So just
so
about.
you have less than a year to prepare. How are you preparing for that though?
Oh, I mean, we're
Training.
training 3 to 4. I mean, depending on, because as as you can imagine, like I'm a mom,
Mm-hmm.
about a younger child. I think I was the youngest one on the team and the only one with a child under the age of 18, if
Mm-hmm.
at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a little bit different for me to train. So I can't train at 5:30 in the morning with the others
Right.
because I have my daughter and it's just me.
Yes.
So I drop her to school and then I go. But of course, I have to go to work. So I do try to get in 3 to 4 days out of the week. It's not
Mm-hmm.
always as easy. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one way I'm trying to, if we start from now and keep fit, keep conditioned,
Mm-hmm.
we'll be able to drop times and do well when we go.
I know these trips, these competitions, they cost money,
yeah.
and especially if you're going, far places, and you're staying for more than 2 or 3 days, it's gonna cost money. How are you guys working on that part of it to get funded in?
Well, because it was just our first one, we're hoping to, educate everyone, let everyone know that this is something. And then we're going to have to talk to the different corporate entities to let
Right.
them see how it's beneficial for them to help us.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't started yet, though, honestly, because this one was purely self-funded. Aside from like maybe getting some gear, it was
Yes.
purely self-funded. Because it's hard for, at least I don't know about anyone else. For me, it's hard for me to take from the age group swimmers, knowing that I can self-fund, but it's not something sustainable either.
Right.
Especially as I said, I have a little one who is coming up as well, so she has her meets, and I have to fund some. So we just want to bring attention to the fact that kind of everybody knows that this happens. So if we
Yes.
can bring attention to it, we are here doing this interview with you, showing how it's beneficial, and maybe we can reach out once we get our name out there quite a bit.
Well, you also have the receipts. You have the receipts.
Right.
26 medals. I mean, you have also done something for the tourism of Jamaica, right? So you have the receipts to show that there is value in what you're doing. So while it may not be very easy, it shouldn't be too difficult to start getting people on
Yes,
board.
yes.
If you had gone there and
Well-
come back empty-handed, then people will, well, okay, why are we going to support
Right.
you? You have nothing, but you have the receipts to show. And you
Well,
will see something.
That's what we're hoping will happen, and we're speaking that into existence, because normally corporations that fund for sports, they are more or quicker to support teams or athletes that are younger.
Mm-hmm.
It some corporations or some individuals will say, well, why are we investing money in masters? Because they are an older population. They associate sponsorship with sports with the youth.
Okay.
And I think it's because most countries, their ministries combine youth and sport. And so like going to the Olympics or going for the younger kids, they see it really easier to say, okay, these kids will have a certain amount of years that they can get our name out there, and we can say we sponsor them. So we really want corporations to recognize that your masters, you're older, and as a matter of fact, they should invest in us, because we're actually the ones that
Buy their products.
buy their products.
Okay.
Kids don't do that.
I was just
Right.
about to kind of mention something.
So they
like-
should invest in us, because we're the ones that would be able to actually talk about their products.
Right.
So the best, to say that your products help us into our 50s and 60s, to help us keep healthy, to train or whatever. So
Okay.
I think there also needs to be a mindset shift there to say why adults, older adults in their 50s, 40s, 50s, 60s should be invested in.
Okay. So let me just talk about a mind shift from a marketing perspective. We remember when apparel companies were selling bathing suits and dresses that the models were super thin, Coca-Cola bottle looking. Um, Nowadays, we're seeing a shift in that.
Yes.
And especially here, Julie, you have seen the ads on TV, and I'm pretty sure everybody has seen them as well.
Very
That
well.
the ads that are coming out on TV, we're having full-figured women that are now being on advertisements, right? So there's a mindset shift as to who they now need to target, because for years they've been neglecting that audience. They have not been using them in advertising their products. I know they're recognizing that there's a real need. I'm submitting that with what you guys have done, and I'm really hoping that you would have at some point have a marketing plan that you put together, the whole organization and stuff that you put together, because I really believe that you have value that you can prove to an organization, a company, that it's good for them to invest in you. And you're the ones who spend the money. They
As
don't
Christina
spend
said,
the
yeah.
money. You understand? It don't spend the
Yes.
money.
Yes.
Are you getting help from the government?
We haven't asked. I'm not gonna. I don't want it to be said that we haven't ventured there yet. We,
Okay.
as you said, we wanted to come back and show them why they should.
Okay.
You know, we didn't come back empty-handed. We came back. We represented our country very well.
Mhm.
So I think now is where we can reach out.
Okay.
But I don't think we could have done that before.
That's true. How can the public help?
Get
Whether it is
involved. I mean,
diaspora
come, yeah,
or in
get
Jamaica.
involved.
What would
Join
you
us.
want them to do?
Join us. Just like how Julie and Addie came from Florida. We
Mhm.
actually had someone who tried to come from Washington, D.C. as well. It was a little bit logistically difficult for her, considering, like, you know, when she found out. But join us. I mean, we have no problem. It's not, we're not competing amongst each other, because it's not qualifying times where, you know, if only the top two can go, which is usually the case for age group and Olympics.
Mhm.
Here, there's no limit. All of us can go, right? So I think one of the ways they can do it is to join us, because the more the corporations and the government see us doing this, once
Yes,
we get our numbers bigger, then they'll see the value in it.
that's absolutely true. Well, listen, it's almost time to go, but just before you go, I have some photos that I found, and I just kind of want you guys to identify and tell us what the heck is happening here, right?
Okay.
So, talk to us about this one.
Really?
Julie
Okay, so
again.
I think I just finished the 50 fly in the 200 relay,
Okay,
because we had two different swimsuits. So that was the swimsuit we wore for the relays. So it's one of
that's
the two relays.
mhm.
So I think I had just touched a wall on that one hand. Okay, so that was a freestyle. Freestyle.
That looks like a masterful display of swimming right there. You look as if you're in the Olympics there.
That's right.
Oh,
This one is that guy infiltrating your camp.
Oh,
What's
this is
happening
what
there?
we're telling you.
one of the
Everybody
many.
wants the pictures. One of the many times they were begging us to take pictures. And actually, that little one there is mine. I'm claiming her. The little one,
That's a
our
team
biggest
cheerleader.
cheerleader.
Mm. All right, and then this picture, I just found it so amusing. What
Yes.
did
Okay.
you guys do to the lady in the middle?
That's true.
Here I am thinking you're gonna ask who is beside me with a flag on her face, and I'm about to
No.
tell you that that's the High Commissioner for Jamaica to
Oh,
Trinidad.
that's her.
Yeah,
Okay.
Natalie Campbell Rodriguez.
But listen to me. If you take a closer look at the woman's face,
You know,
Yes.
this is the first time I'm noticing, because you said something.
Like, what do you guys care? Why are you taking over swimming? That
No,
was
well, I must say, I must interject that she was actually, she's actually from Cuba because actually
Yes.
at this event we had Cuban masters, and I think they sat right beside us where we
Okay.
were, and but I don't think she was upset at us.
No, I
She
mean,
made us
what
talk
was
a
I
going
know.
lot
on. This is what
There,
was
there
going
was
on.
because she was quite. I know the Cuban swimmers were quite friendly with us and
the
speaking to us.
contrast between the two beautiful smiles in the picture and her in the background is just so
This is the first time I'm
amusing.
actually seeing that.
Oh my God. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Listen, I thoroughly
I
enjoyed.
just want to add something, Patrick.
Yes.
Sorry, just going back to your last point before, and
Mhm.
I think it's we talked about funding, and that's very important. Like everything takes cash to care, but
Yes.
I I just wanted. I think one of the objectives for us now, because we're still very early in the game in terms of master swimming in Jamaica. Master sports on a whole in Jamaica, we tend not to you have very few people participating in master sports. In
Yes.
Trinidad, I think they have something like 150 master swimmers registered who
Hmm.
train regularly and all that, which is where I think our initial objective must be is to get more persons into the sport,
Hmm.
doing it, seeing it as part of their, whether it's triathlete, because you have older triathletes who swim also. Um, I know I swim with some of them in the mornings and also getting other persons, as I said earlier, I'm 60 plus, so it's getting persons my age group back into swimming, which we're trying to do,
Right.
really getting them back into the sport, and then now eventually, hopefully, there will be some sponsorship. And I think what Kristina said is very important. You realize that the other side of the spectrum is you have those competitive swimmers who are probably it's probably more in there. It will be unfair for us to be taking any resources from them into for master swimming. And in fact,
Right.
I and I stand to be corrected. I think in most cases, master swimmers usually fund themselves. This is what I know around the world, where most of them do fund themselves because they see it as part of the whole experience and camaraderie. And I mean, when I went to Trinidad, I mean, I had tremendous camaraderie. It was tremendous,
Yes.
and some of the people I could tell you a joke. There was one fellow who I used to train with,
Hmm.
and I haven't seen him over 40 years. And we used to train together on the same swim team in Atlanta.
Wow.
And in fact, he used to drop me one year when I was training. I was staying close to where he lived, and he used to drop me to training in the morning. He used to
Wow.
pick me up, and he's still doing master and swimming very fast. He's doing extremely well. So it's that is the aim really. That is the major focus, and of course the health benefits and everything else. Because
Yes. Yes.
let's not discount the health. I guess when you reach to my age, health benefits are very important, very
Exactly.
important.
I I I concur.
And also, if we can really sell what Juli-Anne mentioned about really getting that mindset, if we can help to sell that mindset about the mental aspect and the health, both physical and mental, that is something that
Yes.
people are now talking about, the health benefits of swimming. And it's probably one of the best exercises for mental health
Yes.
because of the relaxation you get. And the thing about Jamaica is that we have the weather. The weather is fantastic here. We
Perfect.
don't, Florida might get a little chilly at times, but Jamaica, people complain about it being cold. I'm like, it doesn't get cold in Jamaica. It gets, you know, we
So
make, so, you know.
listen, one of the things that I'm seeing happening here is that a lot of the insurance companies are going for preventative measures.
Good. Yeah.
One, they don't want to spend the money,
Mhm.
so they're trying to get their clients and customers to live healthier, so they don't
Mhm.
have to get sick to spend
Mhm.
the money that they have
Mhm.
to pay out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you look at swimming from that perspective,
Right. Right.
and with the companies that are there. So while they may not fund your entire trip, but they may be able to promote it more because of the benefits that it can deliver for them.
Yes.
And they have to understand that from that perspective, they're spending a few dollars now, but when you compound it over years, it will save them a lot of money because if swimmers who probably will live a little longer and become a lot healthier, may not cost the insurance company that much money over the long period of time. And so you guys are going to have to find a way to kind of sell that to them, and then other companies as well, so they understand the benefits of swimming and the master's program. Because as you said before, it ends at probably 2022. And if you go to higher heights like the Olympics and so on and so on, then you may go a little further.
Right.
I play tennis a lot. I play tennis with somebody who is in his 80s. Now, he doesn't run as fast as us, but the fact that he can move and he stays in the game. And swimming is a lot less hassling than tennis.
Yes.
So it should be an easy thing for persons as they grow older to say, hey, listen, this is something I want to get involved with. And companies to say, hey, listen, I really want more of our people to get involved with it. And they fund programs to make sure that more kids can go into swimming, because if the population as a whole have more swimmers, it means we should have a little bit more healthier population, which means that the country should do better from a productive perspective and so on and so on. So you guys are really onto something magnificent, fantastic. I'm so glad that you got the medals to show, to prove that you guys are on top of things. I'm really happy about that. As I was saying that we're going to end, is there in the last minute and the last thing you want to say to the persons who are looking at us and wondering what they need to do, how they
Dive in and join us. Dive in and join us. You will not regret it. It will not be a regret at all. There's nothing. You will only find benefits. You'll only find benefits.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Julie?
And I want to echo what Kristina just said. And also, it doesn't matter right now where in the world you are.
Mhm.
If you want to do masters, most places in the world have some master's program, at least one. You want to swim and represent your country and you're not living in that country, that's also no problem. You
Right.
can get in touch with, and I don't know if Allan will back me up on this, but how to get in touch with the whatever organization that will help you get whatever registered for whatever federation you wanna you wanna swim with us.
Yeah.
So I'm speaking to the diaspora when I say that, because we have a lot of swimmers that are not in Jamaica, that when Addie and I were reaching out to them, they said, oh, but we haven't swum in a while, oh, we don't know if we can do good, things like that. Like Kristina's saying, now that they've seen that, they heard me come back with the medals and how we did, they are now interested in saying, well, when is the next one and what we can do and all of that. So I just directed them to contact ASAJ. Right, that's it. So
yeah, that's a good.
swim wherever you are, swim, because our categories in master swimming go up to 100 plus.
There was a 92-year-old who swam in Panam.
Oh my God.
And set a record.
That is amazing. So, do you guys have the hardware beside you? Oh, okay. Blink them so we can see them. Those are fabulous. Those are nice. That is amazing. Well,
And I will say, I'm going to boast of myself a little because I don't think I do it enough. I swam 100 fly. And 100 fly is not one of the easiest things to do.
I give you credit.
The last time I did it as an adult, because I haven't done it as an adult, right? I did it in March and I dropped almost 11 seconds. So, yeah, it can be done with the training. It can be done. So even if you don't win a medal, which I did anyway, just the feeling. I mean, I cried. My daughter was so concerned because she's never seen me really cry, but I was so proud of myself. It the mental there was so amazing. Just the feeling.
I mean, it's the same thing that Addie said, and I mean, she has been doing similar stuff for quite some time. So I mean, you guys are just amazing. Listen, Kristina, Allan, and Julie, I really appreciate the conversation.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
As much as I can to be able to kind of spread the word and make sure more people know about this, so that you can get support in whatever way you can. Thank you so much. Have yourself an amazing evening, and we'll talk next time, okay?
Yes, thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.